Hello and welcome. Let's see the setup for this Sintering model. In this case, we apply the addition model using the linear formulation and non-rolling resistance. Two models must be defined for the calculation of the applied force and volume fraction. Now the geometries. There are several components for this demo and some of them will have a motion frame associated. So keep in mind the sequence of all motions for our next step. The first motion frame is for the feeder, where the particles are placed in the beginning using the volumetric inlet. It involves two translations at the same speed, returning the component to its initial position. You can also adjust the speed as well as the initial and final times. The second motion frame controls the pressing action. It begins with a vertical translation, followed by a compression stage, which combines a free body translation with a linear force applied using a time-dependent coefficient. Then the press returns to its initial position. The last motion frame is used to eject the part and consists of a single translation. A fourth motion frame may be added to push the part and repeat the process. Now let's take a look on the material properties. These values are just for this demo, but it's important to use realistic values to obtain better results. The same applies to material interactions, which includes the static and dynamic friction coefficients, the restitution coefficient, and the stiffness fraction. These values can be generated using the material wizard or taken from literature. Next, the volumetric inlet. As mentioned before, the particle injection occurs inside the feeder, so we use its walls to define a volumetric inlet with a specified total mass of particles. Finally, go to the solver section to define the total simulation time, the execution option, either CPU or GPU, and then run the model. Now the animation. Notice the particles inside the feeder, followed by both translation motions and the compression. At the end, we see the part emerging at the surface. For post-processing, we can begin by calculating the applied force. Create a time plot from the press geometry. You can see the linear force applied over time, and the slope is the coefficient typed in the motion frame. This may be a variable to optimize. Now let's create the cylinder associated with the particles to visualize the volume fraction. First, I'm going to hide some components for better visualization. It is possible to define some transparency, but I prefer to hide the components. The cylinder must match the dimensions of the part for the calculation, so choose a proper time to do it. Then, create an Euclidean statistics object to define the mesh size of the cylinder and then select the variable. From the top view, you can see the difference in definition between the left and right sides. However, this difference is not present between the top and bottom regions. So it's time to reconsider some input parameters such as the feeder speed, particle size, and certain material properties. Finally, we can plot the particle distribution on the part and analyze its composition. Go to particles and color them by particle size. There are more post-processing activities we can explore, but that's all for today. Thanks for watching.